For this next step, I find it easier to disconnect the stick from the frog and to pull it this way a little bit. You can see from the tip that I have it disconnected and I've pulled it slightly forward. The reason for that is that it gives me a little extra slack for the hair, a little easier to work with. I'll reassemble it later. The next step, and is very important, and I've made this mistake more than once, is you need to install the ferrule. You need to put it on the hairs, so we'll do that right now. Take our barrette off and slip the ferrule on. For right now, it doesn't really matter the direction. Well, no, excuse me, it does. Let me explain this. There's a sharp side and there's a rounded side. The sharp side goes towards the ebony, and the rounded side goes towards the hairs. So as you install this, you want to make sure you're installing it that way. Very important. So go ahead and just slip the hairs through. Okay. And we'll put this barrette back on just to keep our ribbon in place. Alright, so the next step is to install the hairs into the hole here. And you want to do it in a similar fashion. I don't know if you can see it. Let me turn this around this way. You want to come at an angle like this. It's difficult to see, isn't it? You want to bring it in at an angle from the top here, coming around. And then use your punch to kind of wedge it in the hole. And then you'll take your wedge here that you've kept. This still looks like it's got some life in it. And place it in the hole. And with the punch, go ahead and press it in. There. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. There's a wedge on the back side of the hairs, and the hairs come at an angle from here. There's really not a good camera angle to get this at. So anyways, the next step is to place the abalone back on. And it pretty much, there's like little rails on the side and it slides in. You'll notice that there's this side here, and this is the side that goes in, where you see a little bit of the black ebony there. This is the side you want to come in. And you want to keep the hairs away from the rails, the side rails. So just have it extended here. And bring this in. You have to find the rails. Boy, I need glasses, folks. Actually, a friend of mine gave me a pair of glasses. They're in there, so if I really need them, I can go get them. You know what? I've placed this in the wrong way. I gotta pull this out. Screw this down a little harder. Let's get this out of here. It's gonna go in the other way, like this. Keep the hairs away from the rail. Press this in a little better. There. Now, the abalone's back on. Before you reattach the ferrule back to the bow, you have this last wedge here, and this goes underneath the hairs. This goes underneath here. Now, to keep it in place, what I like to do is I put one dab of super glue on the ebony side where this wood touches the ebony, and that's just to hold it in place a little better. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Sometimes I wish I had 3 hands, but I think it would come in handy. Okay, so it's going to go in this way. So I'll put it right here. And it doesn't need to be much, folks, just one little dot. Yeah, that's plenty good. Screw this super glue back together so it doesn't dry out. Alright, so that goes underneath, and that one dot goes on the ebony side, not on the hair side. And you just want to wedge that underneath between the hairs and the ebony, just about right there. Okay, good. Take our barrette off and bring the ferrule forward.